Chapter 3, Quick Attack. With several more victories under his belt, Joey and his Black Dragon squad are getting pretty popular. Their next target is a supply unit passing through the Uravi Canyon. It's a really bad place for supply units. You know, they should probably wind up coming up with a few more routes because we've hit quite a few supply units there. The lightly defended supply unit is a perfect target and the supplies will help feed the new mouths on the squad. However, there's word that there are reinforcements on their way to protect the supply unit. They'll have to hit the unit fast and steal the supplies before the reinforcements reach their position. Red 2 standing by, all 4 lit and in the green, and we've still got the same squad as last time. I am continuing to stick with this team. They have done pretty well all things considered and I see no real reason to change up what works. We have been doing very well and yeah. Plenty of power behind our team. Joey's team continues to get stronger. And yeah, not really much to say on our preparation screen. It's time to go into battle. Boss, the reinforcements are closer than we thought. We better hurry.
Hey, you don't think this is a trap, do you?
Probably. Come on, let's hit them fast. We, of course, do have new units to find. I keep calling them units because, I don't know, I'm used to Vanguard, probably. So, if we head out this way, Malay Erica should be able to find some new monsters. Let's get the ground cannons ready to go. Let's have Joey circle around to the north. And we'll make our way past the enemies. Hopefully we do find them because we have... Well, they're fairly capable monsters, but... Alright, one of them is fairly capable, the other is Flame Cerberus. Which I've also spent a lot of time ragging on. So, the enemy is very slowly approaching our position. Let's get a barricade in. Don't forget the barricade. So, what does our moving enemy actually have? Okay. Now, fanaticism is based on Mystical Elf's strange and convenient ability to power up Blue Eyes White Dragon. Where is it? Have I missed it? Nope. Good tempting fate. So, Flame Cerberus and Sengenjin. They are our challengers for the day. 2 of them and 1 of us, but they are fairly strong. Level 80 and it gets level 2 magic. Obviously, no items. So, since they're a bit on the slow side, we can lock them down. We will, of course, get to meet these monsters as we go through. We'll get introduced to them and have our battles. We might wind up running into the reinforcements as well. I can't remember how this one plays out, but if we're very quick with things, then we'll be able to do quite a lot of damage very quickly. And Sengenjin's teeth are very sharp. It kind of looks like it's a shark. There we are, and every time it gets hit, it power lifts. It's obviously been beaten up a lot. Why else do you think it's got those amazing guns? It power lifts every time it gets punched. Alright, pile on the pressure. Let's keep it powerlifting. Get those reps in. Come on, Sengenjin. I want to see you working those arms. And you've got to put an extra weight on the other end. You've got to have more. You've got to stop clipping through Flame Cerberus too on top of that. You've got to put the weight on the other end. It's got to go for both arms because otherwise it'll be all lopsided. But we should at least get through this really easily. Don't ever neglect magic. Good use of magic can be the key to winning a battle. As you've seen, it can really turn the tide and make monsters that don't seem quite as strong a lot more useful. I mean, even Flame Cerberus can be useful given the fact it gets level 2 magic, they didn't get to do anything, and just drop Hinotama on things. Good levels, good team recruitment. So we will have harder work getting our monsters up to higher levels. Singajin and Flame Cerberus have joined the army. Let's have Malaericus start speeding back to base, comparatively speaking. Alright, so we're going to face polymerization. What's the boss got? Oh, that actually fills me with dread. Probably better have Malaerica take on the boss, in all fairness. Because Malaerica's magic is going to be super useful. Because, well, hold on a minute. We'll let the guns fire. We need to actually pay attention to the boss's profile. Lava Battle Guard and Swamp Battle Guard power up when each other is present. They can use a very powerful team attack. So you do not want to be in the way when that goes off. You know how you've got Dark Burning Magic and Triangle Ecstasy Spark? This is like that. It does a lot of damage. And we do not want to be taking a lot of damage. Quite obviously. Now, I can use Joey because if Rocket Warrior is fast enough... So, Fanaticism. The power of Blackland Fire Dragon was about 4,000. So, as you can see, it was exactly 4,000. As you can see, there is an 8,000 point... 8,000, you idiot! There is an 800 point power up because that is exactly what happened when Mystical Elf powered up the Blue Eyes. She conveniently got the ability to power up the Blue Eyes White Dragon's attack by 800 points so that Yugi could basically beat the crap out of the Ventriloquist of Darkness, the fat ghost thing. I don't know, I mostly remember it as like that. As summed up on the Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series as a gay clown, but it was a thing. It was just some sort of thing that the dub provided a very convoluted and stupid explanation for, and because Crioel is a Darklands monster, it can butcher spellcasters. Alright, we probably won't have a lot of time to introduce our new monsters. So that's that one done. Malaerica, go over here. Joey can hit this one. I suppose it all depends on... Because Joey doesn't have great AP. I mean, our generic Marshall, his team is really strong. I mean, Swamp Battle Guard just hits really hard. And that's a bit of a problem for us. Lava Battle Guard's a bit crap. But we really do have to watch out for that special attack because otherwise we're left in a world of hurt. So I'd probably rather have Fairy's Gift unleash that magic, and then we can just dish out the damage that way. Alright, so I want to confuse one of them, because then it can't use polymerization. To the best of my knowledge, as I've said, you can't use polymerization when at least one of the team is confused. So you will, when the AI actually gets to use some of those really powerful combination attacks, you have to plan things out very well if you want to stand a chance of surviving. You've got to be able to use your status effects. Like, as I've mentioned, this is paramount when it comes to things like Etrian Odyssey. I absolutely love those games, but you've got to know how to pick your battles. You have to know when to go adventuring in the early game. You have to be ready for all those traps for beginners, and you have to pay a lot of attention to your status effects and how they wind up stacking up in the game and how they can help you. You have to pay attention to binds and how they can help you. You have to pay attention to your general team synergy. You have to display a lot of caution because otherwise you are in significant trouble. And it's kind of an element of the games I like. Yes, it's going to be frustrating at many points. Probably go DN Keto now. But at the same time, it's really, really clever because, as I said, the difficulty is not utterly insurmountable. It all depends on you being smart enough to pick your battles, to learn about all the skills you have available. It's not immediately obvious, but you get a lot of opportunity to test everything out, try some new abilities and go from there. Being able to put together a very solid team, which can combo well off one another, is essential to survival. And if you can't do that, you're in a lot of strife. Just pay attention, plan everything out, and you do get some really, really good results. So, it's difficult. There's no denying that the games are difficult, and there are some frustrating bits along the way that they've polished up over time. But if you're smart enough, you pay attention, you do the sensible things, you can make a pretty good fist of it. And that's the sort of difficulty I like. It's like the things with Dark Souls and that. They encourage you to pay attention, to learn your enemy's patterns and tactics, and to really get an advantage by observing what happens. And we're just not going to kill it unless I get a critical. That is annoying. So yeah, that is perfectly fine for difficulty. I enjoy things like that because it's a great learning experience. As you get to master all those clever tactics, you get a lot more out of the game. But you've got to get the right balance for difficulty and things like that. But when you do get stuff like that, it's really, really cool. At least so I think, anyway. Because it's always nice when you do get that mastery of the system. You can get that mastery of things like speedrunning. There's a lot of work that goes into speedrunning. You've got to know the game inside out. Just as a beginning, you've got to know all these tricks and traps and tactics and all these little things that make the run what it is. You've really got to pick every little bit from the game to get all the information you can and make the most of it. Come on. I don't know when those reinforcements arrive, and I'm not interested in finding out. That's fairly basic. Alright, well, I'll let Joey's team heal up. Malairika's team doesn't need healing. Alright, it needs a little bit. Let's replenish our magic. Good to go. Let's get moving. Don't want to wind up running into those reinforcements. That could be dangerous. I think you can actually fight off the reinforcements. Depends on the situation, really. Alright, so we once again have a very generic marshal as our boss, and these enemies are not to be taken lightly. But they'll lose a bit of oomph in the castle, I believe. So yeah, I wouldn't pretend to know any of the games I play inside out. I'm certainly not a strategic master. I don't necessarily know which monster does what, which one's the best, how you could speedrun this, and so on. Could be fun to try, but who knows? Anyway, we really are going to have to meet a few monsters later on. We've at least avoided the reinforcements. Oh wait, Tau has its special? Slow down all enemies and reduce their action points. Nice. Okay, let's give that a try. I mean, I doubt it. And of course, the enemy immediately gets to go next. Alright, we probably can focus our firepower on Lava Battle Guard because it's weaker and has less health. I think it's meant to be the little brother or something. Alright, now we put the enemy under paralysis and we should be okay as soon as we knock one of them out. Oh wait, hang on, does that have status guard? Well, it didn't seem very happy to see us. It should do, I believe. Level 1 magic and status guard. Yeah, level 1 magic is actually kind of useless. Level 2 magic, giving you access to Hinotama, is fairly useful because it allows for that proficiency at chip damage. But unfortunately, it's not going to do too much more. I mean, it's still nothing to be sneezed at. Because, I mean, look at that. We just deal that little bit of extra roasting. And we've knocked we've knocked one dangerous enemy out and we've stopped the combo attack. That's probably what makes this fight the most difficult. That combination attack. If you can dish out one of your own, then you're absolutely fine. But you will want to lock down your opponent, stop them from moving. And like I said, status conditions. Use every tool at your disposal, even on a casual run. You will be surprised at how efficient you can wind up being. Because the more you learn about the game, the more enjoyment you get out of it. Being able to put those really solid tactics together, just a personal favourite thing of mine. And of course, you want to try and avoid having as much damage done to your team as possible. You want to be able to get the most out of the situation. Like, I believe that you really should use every tool at your disposal, given that there is kind of a tendency for the AI to cheat sometimes. So that kind of brings me to one of my favorite little things that has shown up in the Mario Kart series. I talked about it at length in Super Circuit, but the fact that you could set red shells behind you as a booby trap, this was super impressive. It was really, really handy, and yes, it did give whoever was in first an unfair advantage. Well, we're not going through this unless we dish out a critical. At the same time, though, it was a very, very big advantage and evened the playing field for the human player in single player, because the game could be We got the critical! Very good. Yeah, the game could be incredibly harsh to the one player sometimes. Pretty much any Mario Kart game can. So I felt it was just a fair way to even the odds and you should use any tool at your disposal. Unfortunately, they didn't really like that and we just sort of had to live with it being removed, which was a pain in the backside. Would have been a nice single player only trick, but no, they looked at it and said, this is too much of an advantage for the human player, we're going to shove items up their ass. And what a lousy battle. I'm sore all over. Tristan, is that you? I'm glad to see you're still in one piece. I've been playing the role of a mercenary working for the Empire. But when I heard that we were fighting you, I quit. Needless to say, they weren't real happy with my decision. They've been chasing me ever since, so it took me longer than I thought to get here. Figures, Imperial jerks. Have you run into YuGiOh or any of the others yet? Nope, I've been looking, but I don't have the faintest idea where they are. Same here. Well, I guess we'll just keep on fighting for now. Right, we're bound to get their attention eventually. Oh man, I could go for a glass of homebrew. How about you, Joey? Yeah, count me in, Tristan. We can use that after all we've been through. And so a couple of friends get to sit down and reminisce about the about what they've done in the past and discuss strategy for the upcoming battle ahead. Thank you very much for joining me. Till next time, this is Red 2, returning to base.